When we finally could get back in, we didn't know if it was there or not. But the post office was destroyed, the fire station was destroyed, and the library was destroyed.
Mrs. O'Brien, she said every town needs three things. They need a school and a church and a library. And she said, and I think I can take care of the library part. It started in 1925 when Mary Frances Grazer came as a young teacher to the McKinsey area. She ended up meeting her husband Oral, and they married in 1928. In the 20s, the state had a traveling library, and she would check out as many books as she could from that traveling library and hang on to them until they would come back around like in 6 months and pick them up again. Since she had been a teacher, she just really felt that in the summertime when kids would be out of school, that they no longer had access to books. You know, some families had books, but not a lot of them, and she just wanted to really make sure that kids still had accessibility to books. So like in 71, they found this little building, they moved it onto their property, and they moved everything from the house into that. And then they started working from there, and that's, I think, when it started becoming called the Blue River Library. Well, it wasn't too long after that. I think it was in 1975 when they'd outgrown that space. So she provided the funds for the material, and the community, which is the Blue River Lions Club, came and built a little 24 by 32 room that they moved all those books from that little cabin into, and that was the start, again, of the continuation of the Blue River Library. The program called On the Road with Charles Kuralt. Well, he got wind of this little library, and he wanted to do this story on it. After that was aired, then the books were coming in from all over because they saw this nationwide. Well, in 1988, when she was 87 years old, she set it up as a nonprofit, and then $30,000 of her own money to make sure that it would continue on into the future. She passed away in 1995, and that was the time when the board chose to change the name from Blue River Library to the O'Brien Memorial Library. One of my summer jobs, so I could go to college, was fire watch, and you have a lot of downtime on that. And so that's when I started using the O'Brien Memorial Library, was like in the summers, starting in 1970. In 2015, when I retired, I wasn't ready to go full-time yet, but after the fire, Priscilla approached me and said, we really need a secretary. Our secretary that we had, their home was burned, and she's moved and they're not planning on coming back, and she recommended that possibly you could be the secretary, and so that's how I got involved full-time. So that was like in 2021 after the fire.
I am a librarian. I always loved libraries, so I figured I could donate my time when I was here to work in the library. Mrs. O'Brien taught me what needed to be done, and I did it.
After the fire, I moved back up here, but my house wasn't done yet, so I was living in a tent, and I had no Wi-Fi or anything, and the library had Wi-Fi, so I would bring my laptop here, and the librarian of the day, it was Sharon, she conned me into volunteering.
Oh, good
and
for
that
Sharon.
was the beginning of that.
It certainly burned. It went right down the river everywhere. When we finally could get back in, we didn't know if it was there or not.
It's very devastating. They had immediately, it's called Cascade Relief Team, that came in and helped with boots on the ground, cleaning, pulling the metal from the ashes. So I was in on part of going to the library lot and helping with that cleanup. And you would see layers of pages that looked like just a book laying there, but when you touched them, it all just fell apart because it was total ash. It was hard. It was just like, I was amazed that the fire took so much so quickly. There was one picnic table when you first come in across the bridge, a red picnic table standing there like I'm still here. I think that's kind of the attitude of Blue River too, is we're still here. You know, it's coming back kind of hard. We need more commercial there to sustain our community, but people are slowly coming back in. I think the other thing is for the community to see the library coming back, just the resiliency of people and the resiliency of what a small group of people can do with the support of so many. There's such a love of the library. I mean, we wouldn't be having the grants and we wouldn't be having all these donations coming in if there wasn't a love for the library. So, and just being able to see the library coming back, even though a lot of the businesses at this point in time, the commercial part of Blue River is not coming back, I just think it's kind of almost like a lighthouse, like a beacon that says, hey, you know, we can do it, so can you.
People will come if we provide a library, and they do.
Just to open it up and have that welcoming space that's part of our mission statement, which is to provide a welcoming space for the residents and visitors of Blue River and the greater community.